thermodynamic process, what we have discussed in the last class, how many types are there? One is the isothermal, second is isobaric process, isochoric process, and the fourth one also is there, it's called adiabatic process. So we will see that what is adiabatic also. Like I told in that class also, basically when we are dealing with gases and all that, we will be talking about parameters which are pressure, volume and temperature. Usually we keep one constant and study the other two, because this gas has a nature which is highly expansive in nature. So if you keep all three variables, studying that will become little difficult. So in one of the process you keep temperature constant, which is called isothermal. Sometimes you keep pressure constant. What is a practical example of isobaric process means? You take a water and boil in a container. This is your container and you take water and boil it. Now this is open to air, that means it is subjected to atmospheric pressure, which is a constant. So this is an example of isobaric process. Clear now? Isochoric means volume should be kept constant. Suppose you take a closed container. You take a closed container. A closed container has a fixed volume. That means volume is constant. You have taken a gas and you are heating it, let us say. So this process is isochoric. Clear? Adiabatic means here actually no heat transfer happens. Like I gave you an example, you take a cup of coffee and you put it under thermoflask. So there is some heat here. It is trying to escape out. What does this thermoflask do? It will not allow. So this type of a process is called adiabatic process. In adiabatic process, no heat transfer actually happens. So these are basic things. Now when we discuss about these thermodynamic processes, I have shown you the PV diagrams also. Okay, I have shown you the PV diagrams. So for isothermal, the PV diagram I have shown you like this, isn't it? And when you say PV is a constant here, because temperature constant means pressure will be inversely proportional to the volume. So PV will become constant. What do I mean by PV is equal to constant? The area under the curve, which basically gives you the work done. Okay, this is another concept you are seeing. Now how much is that work done? Today we will calculate for each of the cases. Okay, so we will start with isothermal. So we are trying to find out the work done. See, work done. Now let me tell you one more point. Isothermal process is a very, very slow process. Initially, let us say the temperature of the system is 20 degrees Celsius and you are taking this to 30 degrees Celsius. Now this doesn't happen immediately, I told you. It happens over stages. It's a very, 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 very slow, if you think. Then at that stage, temperature is constant. Let us say 20 became 21 in a very, 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 very small time. I mean, you are considering 20 to 30 degrees it changed. It took some time t, let us say. But that time t, it is not happening abruptly. So, small increment of, if you consider very, very small, increments, the temperature remains constant only. Like this, 20 degrees to 30 degrees it became in, let us say, 4 days. Just some random example. 20 degrees to 30 degrees it became 4 days. I am considering 1 minute duration. Can I say that it was 20 only? Understood? 20 to 30 degrees in 5 years. Let us say. I am trying to put it in simple words so that you understand. 20 degrees to 30 degrees, it took, let us say, 5 years. If I consider 5 minutes, can I say it was 20 only in that 5 minutes? So this small changes is happening. That is called quasi-static. Quasi-static state. It is applicable for isothermal only. That means you are saying that if you consider a very large amount of time, this process is happening very slowly. In that slowly happening stage, the temperature is constant only. Like I gave this example. Imagine that it takes 5 years, but you are considering only 1 minute. So I can say the system temperature was 20 degrees. Okay, like that. So isothermal is a quasi-static approach. Now here we have to find out what is the work done. So what is the work done? How you will get PdV, right? If I take dW, it is PdV. For a small change of volume, the amount of work done is dW, isn't it? Little bit of integration I will be using here, but basically as a bio student, you are supposed to remember only the expression. Okay? Nothing wrong in knowing the derivation also, it can come in the exam also. Okay? So dW is equal to PdV. If I integrate both sides, will I not get the total work? I will get the total work. But what is this dV? That means original volume was V1 and let us say V initial, it became V final, isn't it? That is the change. So you have to put the boundary condition here, V initial to V final, because the variable here is dV. dV means a variable, alright. So this is what we have to solve now. So for an isothermal process, I told you that PV is equal to constant. Remember? PV is equal to constant. What is the gas equation? It is nRT, right? Obviously we are dealing with ideal gases, so PV is equal to nRT. So I will write this P as nRT by V. Can I write it like that? So put this value here. If you integrate the whole thing, you get W is equal to integration of dV divided by, put the value of P. So here nRT divided by V, right? From V initial to V final. Clear now? So integration of 1 by x dx is log x, but with base n. Okay? So nRT is a constant. I will bring this out. Okay? So this is ln V. ln means logarithm with base n. Okay, what is base n? E is equal to 2.71. I hope you know that. Logarithm with base 10 is there, logarithm with base e is there. So for this, the base is e. You have to put the boundary condition Vi to Vf. Okay? So this becomes your formula nRT ln. If you substitute this will become ln Vf minus ln Vi. Log of A minus B, or it is Vf by Vi. This is the equation to find out if isothermal process is given to you. If they ask you what is the work done, you should use this formula. This is the first part. Here, because we are talking about heat and all that, we will use the first law. What is the first law of thermodynamics? Q is equal to delta U plus W. This was the equation. This is the first law of thermodynamics, right? I told you in the previous videos also. You can go, all these videos are kept in this playlist also. You can go there and watch. Suppose in case you get doubt. Now, very important thing, when you are maintaining temperature constant, can I say delta T is equal to 0? There is no change in temperature. When there is no change in temperature, there is no change in internal energy. If you take a vessel and you simply put it on the stove and you don't put the stove on, will there be a change in the internal energy of the molecules? There won't be any change in the internal energy of the molecules. So this implies delta U is equal to 0. So in an isothermal process, Q is equal to W. This is a very important point. Many times in your paper, this question is asked in NEET and all that. So isothermal process is given to you. Whatever heat you supply, that entire heat is used to do external work. And what is that external work? This is the formula. Okay? So you write it down. So I am just reading this question out and I will write there. But while you have the book, you can write from there. Question, I am not writing the question on the board. The question says 0.5 mole of a gas at 300 Kelvin expands isothermally from an initial volume of 2 liters to a final volume of 6 liters. What is the work done by the gas? How much is the heat supplied to the gas? Okay. R value you should remember, I told you R value is 8.314 joule per mole Kelvin. R is a universal gas constant. So what is the data given here? N is equal to 0.5 and V1 is 2 liters and V2 is 6 liters. Okay, and temperature is 300 Kelvin and he is asking you the process is isothermal, so you have to find out what is the work done. So just now we have seen work done is equal to nRT ln V final minus V initial. Okay, so N it is given as 0.5 into R is 8.314 into temperature you should put in, I told you in Kelvin, temperature should be in Kelvin, 300 into ln. See, both are in liters and you are taking basically ratio. It doesn't matter whether you take both in meter cube, both in liter, because basically it is a ratio. So you can directly put 6 upon 2. Okay? So this is what now you have to calculate. In this question he has not given you the value of ln6 and ln. How much you are getting here actually? You are getting ln3. At least ln2, ln3 and ln5 you remember. They will give questions like that only. Okay? So you have to calculate this, and once you calculate you are getting how much? 1.369 kilojoules. Kilo means 1000. Okay? Once you solve it you get 1.369 kilojoules. Now he is also asking you what is the heat supplied. In an isothermal process I told you whatever is the heat supplied, the total is converted into work. So the heat supplied Vt equal to W is equal to this. So write down. Next is isobaric. Okay, isobaric means constant pressure. So what is the PV diagram? The PV diagram is like this. Yesterday I have told you. So this is your pressure axis, this is your volume axis. So constant pressure, but the volume is changing. Initial volume here is something else. This is Vi and this is final volume. Right? Volume is changing, but in the system the pressure is constant. So here also, see, when you are doing a thermodynamic process, what are we interested? We are always interested in 3 things only: Q, delta W, delta U and work. Whenever you talk about thermodynamic process, we are interested to calculate them. If you are saying that some amount of work is done, the question comes, how much work is done? As simple as that. So let us find out W here. So W here again is PdV only, no? The formula remains same only, it is PdV. Now what is dV? dV is the change in volume. So it is P multiplied by Vf minus Vi. P multiplied by Vf minus Vi, isn't it? So this is PVF minus PVI. Okay. But nevertheless, this is an ideal gas equation only. We are dealing with what is the ideal gas equation? PV is equal to nRT. Okay. So can I write here PVF is equal to nR, temperature corresponding to, see, isobaric doesn't mean isothermal. Isobaric doesn't mean isothermal. Either you make pressure constant, you make temperature constant, you make volume constant. Suppose you make temperature and pressure constant, what is the point in studying volume? It will be constant only, no? Getting my point? You have to make only one thing constant. So here what you have made pressure, isobaric, you have made pressure constant. This P is constant, but temperature is not constant. So you will get PVF. So there is no P initial, no P final, because P initial, P final is P only. So PVF will be equal to nRTF, correct? Applying the gas law. And PVI will be equal to nRTI. Clear now? So just put it over here. So nR is constant there. nR TF minus TI. This is your W. TF minus TI, you can treat it as delta T. What is delta T? It is the difference between the TF minus final temperature minus the initial temperature. And what did you calculate now? You have calculated only W. So in a thermodynamic process, what are we interested? We are interested in knowing Q and delta W also, delta U also. Delta U means internal energy. Always remember, this delta U is affected by change in temperature. When you change temperature, delta U will be affected. No change in temperature, no change in internal energy. This I have explained in the isothermal process also. So next we have to calculate delta U. So delta U. Now see, if you have seen my previous video in the first class, I gave you a pressure cooker example. Initially when you supply the heat at constant volume, there will be change in the internal energy I told. You can go to the playlist and first or second video you should watch that while I was explaining first law of thermodynamics. You should watch that. Okay. So delta U. See, specific heat I have explained you. What is the specific heat? There are two types of specific heat. Specific heat at constant volume, specific heat at constant pressure. So specific heat, what it does, it raises the temperature of 1 mole by 1 temperature. 1 mole by 1 degree Celsius. That is specific heat. So here the rise in temperature is delta T. So specific heat is CV multiplied by delta T, which is TF minus TI. 1 degree rise, you need CV. Delta T rise, you need multiply with delta T. 1 chocolate, 10 rupees. 5 chocolates, 5 into 10. Clear? So CV into delta T. How many moles are there? This is for 1 mole. Understood? How delta U expression has come, understood now? CV into delta T, CV 1 degree Celsius into delta T, because that much rise is there, into number of moles. So delta U you have find out, delta W you have found out, you have to calculate Q. Q is equal to delta U plus W. This is equal to delta U is this NCV. This I am writing as delta T. Okay? Delta T plus nR delta. Would you agree? Clear now? This I am writing as delta T. Change in temperature. You can see here N and delta T are common. Can I write CV plus R into delta T? Can I write it like this? Mayer's relationship. CV plus R is equal to CP. So this becomes NCP delta T. Okay? So in this isobaric process, how do you find work? This is the formula. How do you find heat supplied? This is the formula. Okay? You have to remember these two. Okay? So this is the expression for isobaric process. Remember the expression for Q and remember the expression for M. And one more important thing, here heat supplied is dependent upon specific heat at constant pressure. It is not, are you seeing any expression for CV in this? Here heat supplied is dependent upon specific heat at constant pressure. Okay? So remember this point. Now look at this question. 1 mole of an ideal gas is initially kept in a cylinder with a movable, frictionless, massless piston. I told yesterday they keep using this term frictionless, movable because piston also you should consider actually. If it is friction, there is some loss, heat loss is there. So all those things in ideal condition we are not considering that. Piston at pressure 1 million pascals and temperature 27 degrees Celsius. How much work is done if the expansion is isobaric? Okay? In the question he says the thermodynamic process is isobaric. Let us write the data. Pressure he has given as 1 million pascals. So 1 million means 1 into 10 power 6. Temperature he has given 27 degrees Celsius. So you should write 27 plus 273, 300 Kelvin. The volume V has become 2V. Okay? And is asking you how much amount of work is done. So how do we find the work here? What is the work done definition basically? Work done is equal to PdV. P into delta V, that is the change in volume leads to work. So here P into 2V minus V, right? P into 2V minus V. So that is PV. Straight. Okay, but we know the pressure, we don't know the volume. So how to find the work? He already said in the question ideal gas. Ideal gas means you should apply the ideal gas equation nRT. From here you will get the value for V. So V is equal to nRT by P. N is given as, did he give 1 mole of ideal gas? The value of N is given in the question as 1. R value is 8.314. P value you should put in 300. You should put in Kelvin. Do not put in degrees Celsius. Divided by 1 into 10 to the power of 6 pascals. Pascals means newtons per meter square. Pascal means newton per meter square. So when you calculate this, you get the value of V. You put that value of V here, and when you solve it, you get the value of W. W, if you calculate, you will get approximately 2.4 kilojoules. But he is giving you 4.9 kilojoules. Basically, I don't know. Understood now? So in the isobaric process, what happens is, this is the graph. So this is initial volume, this is the final volume. So what is the work done? Only this is the work done, no? Only this is the work done. This is what you have done now. Okay? Just write down. So next is isochoric process. What is this process? Volume is constant. That means delta V is equal to 0. Delta V means volume expansion is not happening. You are doing this thermodynamic process in a closed container. You are doing in a closed container like this. So here what happens? The volume is constant. But here not temperature is not constant, pressure is not constant, only volume is constant. So you have to find out what is the work done. This is pretty straight. Now how is the PV diagram for this? This is your P, this is your V, PV diagram will be like this. See, sometimes in a question they give you this idea, this process, so it will be consisting of many processes. They can give you a graph like this, like this they will give you. So you need to understand that this process was isochoric. For that I am telling you all this. Okay. So depending upon the graph shape, you should be able to identify what type of process is that. So looking at the graph, you should be able to tell that. Alright. So we have to find the work done. Work done is equal to P into delta V. But it is a constant temperature, constant volume case. So dV is equal to 0. So work done is equal to 0. Work done is equal to 0, then what we are doing? Now apply the first law of thermodynamics. I told you we are interested in knowing all these three values only in a thermodynamic process. We are not just interested in W value, we are interested in Q value, we are interested in delta U value. If W is equal to 0, Q becomes equal to delta U. This is the condition for isochoric process. They will ask questions in isochoric process, W is equal to 0, delta U is equal to 0. Like this, they will give you options. So when they give you options, you should know the condition. Okay? So here, what is the meaning of this statement? All the heat that is supplied went into changing the internal energy of the system. All the energy that was given, heat energy given, went into changing the internal energy of the system. How do you find delta U? Delta U is equal to, just now we have seen, NCV delta T. This is the equation. NCV delta T. MST, you might have seen this, M into S into delta T. Basically that S means specific heat, M means mass. So here we are talking in terms of molar mass. NCV delta T. This is the expression for Q. Okay. So this is about isochoric process. So the last one is adiabatic process. Adiabatic process, I gave you that example of thermoflask. What does a thermoflask do? It does not allow heat to escape into the surrounding. So in an adiabatic process, you know, basically the P changes, B changes, T changes, but Q does not change. Delta Q is equal to 0. There is no heat transfer to the surroundings. That is what is an adiabatic process. So in an adiabatic process, that gas law is there, no? That gas equation, it has to be modified a little bit. That equation becomes, for a normal thing, PV is equal to constant to rate, right? Right? For the adiabatic process, it is PV power gamma is equal to constant. For the adiabatic process, it is PV power gamma is equal to constant. What is this gamma means? We have discussed earlier also, this is called adiabatic ratio. Adiabatic ratio. Alright? So gamma is given by Cp divided by Cv. Gamma is given by Cp divided by Cv. So this Cp and Cv values are different for different type of gases. You have monoatomic gases, you have diatomic, and you have polyatomic. Okay? For all these three, gamma you should remember. So for this monoatomic, it is 5/3. For diatomic, it is 7/5, and for polyatomic, it is 4/3. 8/6 or 4/3. These three values you should remember. Okay? What is this gamma? Adiabatic ratio. That is PV power gamma you are putting, no? So depending upon the gas, you should put that value there. Suppose you are writing for a diatomic gas, you should put gamma value as 7/5 here. So this is the first thing. Now we are trying to find out what is the work done. So work done again is P into dV, right? So we have to find out that. So here We have the equation Pv power gamma is equal to constant, some C. Carefully see this. So P value will be equal to C by V power gamma. C by V power gamma. So we will put it over here. So this is C into dV by V power gamma. You have to put boundary conditions now. Initial volume to final volume. Isn't it? Initial volume to final volume. So what is this? It is 1 divided by x power n. You know, what is x power n integration? X power n plus 1 by n plus 1. So when you solve it, see this is V power minus gamma. This becomes V power minus gamma in the numerator. So what will be your answer? It is minus gamma plus 1 by minus gamma plus 1. X power n, no? In the place of n here it is minus gamma. So you have to put V initial to V final. Okay? And you have to substitute the boundary condition. Then you will get the value of W. So W is equal to, just put it over here. So this becomes, you see, 1 minus gamma is a constant. So I will bring it out, 1 minus gamma. Minus gamma plus 1 or 1 minus gamma means the same only. So this becomes V power Vf to the power of 1 minus gamma, right? Minus Vi to the power of 1 minus gamma. This is what I got. Alright. Now you have this equation. Pv to the power of gamma is equal to constant. What does this equation mean? Pi Vi to the power of gamma is equal to Pf Vf to the power of gamma. Isn't it? It means that only. So here you take the C inside because basically you want to eliminate the C. I want to eliminate this constant. I will take the C inside. What will happen? 1 divided by 1 minus gamma into Cvf to the power of 1 minus gamma and Cvi to the power of 1 minus gamma. Correct? Now in the place of C, I will put those values. I just want to eliminate C. So the next step will be W is equal to 1 by 1 minus gamma. In the place of C, because there is Vf here, I will use this and see what happens. Pf Vf to the power of gamma multiplied by, there is already Vf to the power of 1 minus gamma. Vf to the power of 1 minus gamma minus, in this place of C, I will use this Pi Vi. So Pi Vi to the power of gamma into Vi into 1 minus gamma. Correct? Observe this. Vf to the power of 1 minus gamma. You have to add the powers. When you add the powers, you are getting gamma cancelled. So you are getting here 1 minus gamma, Pf, Vf. Similarly, here you will get Pi, Vi. Understood? Now it is a little simplified form. Pf, Vf. Why I got Vf? Vf multiplied by Vf to the power of 1 minus gamma. इसको देखो ऐसा है ये x है 1 minus x है, Vf is common, so I can write Vf to the power of gamma plus 1 minus gamma. Gamma cancelled. Same base, different powers. Okay, you got this. So can we write here that W is equal to 1 minus gamma. The final format. See, this is equal to NRT only, no? So N R Tf minus Ti and R T P power, yeah. You can leave it like this. Why you should write like this? This is the expression. Okay. This is the expression to calculate for an adiabatic process. Okay. This is the expression to calculate the adiabatic process. So, in an adiabatic process, what is the work done means? You should remember this formula: 1 divided by 1 minus gamma into Pf Vf minus Pi Vi. So that is about work done. What about the other changes? The internal energy and the external energy. First you write out this, then I will see. See, you have followed the work done. Basically, we want to calculate Q and delta U also. Delta U, same formula. Delta U will be mCV delta T. Alright? If they ask you what is the heat supplied in the adiabatic process, adiabatic process is a little lengthy. You have to calculate the work, you have to calculate the internal energy, add them, you get the value of Q. This is little lengthy when compared with the other things. Okay? This is little lengthy and compared with other things. You have to first calculate the work done, calculate the internal energy change, and then add it, you get the heat supplied in the process.